Hello, good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to Kingdom Group's Coffee Talk that happens every Wednesday from 8:30 p.m. to 9:30 p.m. I really want to take this opportunity to thank everyone who's here, who's tuned in, right, on this beautiful Wednesday evening. So I just want to ask everybody, how is the second day of lockdown treating everyone? I really hope that everyone is safe and sound at home, not breaking any rules and regulations by kesini kesana. So remember, jangan kesini, jangan kesana, duduk rumah, diam-diam, tengok Kingdom Group Coffee Talk and enjoy it. All right. So today, our Coffee Talks topic or title is Heart to Heart with Cvskl. All right. So what is Cvskl? Who are they, right? So we have actually brought in a very lovely lady called Brenda Wong. She will be sharing with us on Cvskl, what institution are they, all right? But before that, since Cvskl, right? Okay, I give you a little bit of a hint. It's called cardiovascular central KL, okay? So basically, what do they deal with? I give you a hint, okay? I'm going to ask you this question. Why is the heart important? Why is the heart important, right? The heart is a muscle, and it is one of the most important organs in an individual body, and is special because of what it does. The heart sends blood around your body, and the blood provides your body with the oxygen and nutrients it needs to survive. Without blood, humans will be unable to fight infections, get rid of the body's waste products, keep warm, or even cool off. So now, without further ado, I'm going to bring in Brenda Wong, Cvskl.
Hello, hi
Brenda
everyone.
Wong.
Hi Clement. Thanks for having me tonight. I'm good. How are you?
Great. Thanks for coming on board tonight too.
Most welcome. It's an honor.
Right, so it's very good to see you. Makan already, taken already.
Yeah. Hope the rest have also had their dinner.
That's very good. So staying safe also lah, even though working and everything.
Yeah. So Cvskl is still open. We are an essential service provider. So we are operating as usual.
Okay. So it's like BOA, business.
BAU, business as usual. Yeah.
Yeah. So okay. So I see. So for everyone who's watching, you all are not disappointed. I told you all today there will be a lovely lady. So there you have Brenda Wong. So thanks again,
Hello.
Brenda. All right, Brenda.
Yes. You're
So
welcome.
can you tell everyone a little bit like what is Cvskl? I mean, what do y'all do there?
Okay, so I think you gave a very good introduction already. That's half my coffee talk done already. So
Cvskl, you must actually.
So Cvskl is actually Cardiac Vascular Central, Kuala Lumpur. True to our name, we are a cardiac vascular hospital located in Kuala Lumpur Central. So very straightforward. We treat all matters of the heart and your blood vessels. So located in KL Central, and we started operations in 2017. So this year we will turn 4 years old. Very young hospital. 4 years old. So just the building is old, but with the wealth of experience of our doctors, we are actually collectively about 600 years old when you count by years of experience of our doctors.
Collectively 600 years old.
Yes. It's immediately the oldest hospital.
All right. So a little bit of background on Cvskl. How did it come about? I mean, because you say it's only 4 years, right? The hospital.
Yes. So this the idea of Cvskl came about when Tan Sri Dato Dr. Yahya Awang, our chairman and more famously known as the cardiothoracic surgeon who operated on Tun M, former Prime Minister, twice for bypass surgery. So he had the idea of helping out the nation because, as we all know, heart disease is the most common number one killer, not only in the world, but not only in Malaysia, but also in the world. So he wants to relieve the burden of the government hospitals and sort of have a heart hospital that can also treat heart diseases. So he gathered his closest friends, and over dinner, over coffee, they decided to come up with a single specialty hospital just to treat heart disease. So that's how we recruited our doctors. So we started with 4, and then the doctors wanted to work with people that they are comfortable with. So they themselves, when they know of well-known cardiologists like Dr. Lawrence, Dr. Chu, the IJN guys. So together they got together, and that is how Cvskl was born. Took us about 2 years to put everything to paper and executed it.
Wow. I mean, it's amazing. It's amazing how a bunch, usually, like, it's not easy for a group of friends, coming together, you know, making like the dream a reality. Because
Yeah.
I've also been reading recently. I've been reading about all these things. I mean, it's very good that there is Cvskl, because when it comes to all this heart disease and everything, I think it's definitely not enough beds for
Yes.
right.
Yes. So I completely agree with you, especially during the COVID pandemic. We all know that the government hospitals are struggling massively, right? They're all made to take COVID-19 cases. So, but heart attacks, they happen every day, right? COVID, no COVID, people are going to get heart attack, they're going to get coronary artery disease. So what we've done is we've also worked with the government hospitals to decant these cases, so non-COVID-19 cases, heart issues, we will treat at a very low cost as part of national service.
Wow, that's really good. That is really good.
Yes.
I don't know. Where you all were when y'all was officially launched, right? When Cvskl was officially launched, it was launched by none other than Tun M himself.
Yes, correct. An ex-patient of Tan Sri. We launched in 2018, so about 8 months of stable operations. Then we decided to shout it up to the world that we've successfully launched, and steady stream of patients, very good growth. Very thankful for the doctors who managed to pull in their previous patient load from their previous place of practice. So a lot of trust placed on these guys.
Yep. So I mean, Cvskl. I mean, of course, you all are specialty heart institute, heart center. So I
Correct.
mean, when it comes to everything, I mean, or do you all do something that other people don't do, or you all do everything that people do? But of course, I know the very best doctors there.
Yep. So yes, we do everything that people do, including the stuff that people don't do. So in Cvskl, we actually get a lot of referrals from other specialists who,
Oh,
if it's a complex case, if it's not straightforward, if it's a complex case where you need to spend 5 hours, trying to penetrate a very calcified lesion. So these are the guys who would willingly take these cases and are confident enough to do it. But also being in Cvskl, there are 8 cardiologists, so they operate together. They do procedures together, but only bill one doctor lah. They operate together, so even if the more complex cases, there's trouble, they may be having difficulty in the cath lab. So they always have support of the other doctors who are just downstairs, right? So this also gives these cardiologists more confidence to do more complex stuff. So everybody's skills also level up a little bit.
yeah. It's just like when I do an operation, but of course, all your doctors, they are all very experienced. They are all very, they've been doing this for years. But like you said, it levels up everybody, because you know for a fact, if touch wood, there is
Yes,
a
correct.
complication, somebody's got my back, kind of thing. It's
Yeah,
like,
yeah. Like a safety net lah. It is not always going to, require additional help, but I think it gives them comfort that if something were to go wrong, I know my colleagues can definitely help me out. So, and they also very good teamwork because we don't we're not like other centers who, when we want to hire new people, we advertise a job vacancy. So all these doctors are handpicked by their own colleagues. So they work very well with each other. Very good chemistry, very confident. There's no ego, no drama. So yeah.
Well, that's really really good to know. So, I mean, so the background was, I mean, you gave us a little bit of the background. So, I mean, what about you? I cannot remember just now. You mentioned how totality. How many doctors? You said they are actually.
So okay. Wow. I will start with the big guys, the cardiothoracic surgeons, because without them, we cannot have Cvskl. So we've got 3 cardiothoracic surgeons. Tan Sri is one of them. He is 70 years old, still actively doing surgery. He listens to Celine Dion in the operating theatre, surprisingly. So he makes everyone turn off their music and then he will put on Celine Dion.
Okay, well, I mean, it's a very good music. Celine Dion, My Heart Will Go On, right?
Yeah. That's a good one. Yeah, but yes, he does play that song. We also have Dr. Hamdan Leman. Dr. Hamdan is actually one of the rare breeds in this country. So Dr. Hamdan is a cardiothoracic surgeon, but he is also a congenital heart surgeon. Not a lot of surgeons can do adult and children. So very rare kind of surgeon in the country. So we also have Dr. John, who was previously from Gleneagles and trained by Tan Sri. Okay, so we've got 3 cardiothoracic surgeons and about 8 cardiologists. So again, they work all in pairs. They operate, if they do complex cases, they typically do it together. About 3 to 4 doctors sometimes, but we obviously won't charge 3 to 4 doctors professional fees.
Yeah, don't after the bill come, 4 doctors.
Times 4, oh gosh, okay. We also have 1 electrophysiologist, not many EPs in the country. So Dr. Razali, he trains all the other EPs in the country. So very good teacher, previously from IJN. So we've also got 2 vascular surgeons. Vascular surgeon is not a very well-known specialty. So they treat, so coronary artery diseases is blockage in your heart. So vascular surgery is to treat blockages in your peripherals. So your legs, your aorta, your abdominal aorta. So same thing, but in a different body part.
That means it's not only the heart. Now we're talking about blockages elsewhere besides the heart.
Yes, correct. So not many in the country. So we've got 2 also working together. Sometimes they do difficult cases together. So both of them are in Cvskl. So we also have the support services needed. So gastro, to do with endoscopy and colonoscopy. We've also got nephrologists for diabetic patients, for dialysis patients. We've got anesthetists, obviously, for surgery. You need an anesthetist, a radiologist, and the relative, all the physio, the dietitians, the pharmacists. So total about 23 doctors.
How many?
23.
23. Okay. Yeah. But coming back to what you mentioned just now, I think you mentioned Dr. Hamdan. So that means Cvskl, you all don't only do adults. I mean, children.
We only do adult cases, but there are a lot of congenital cases that manifest in adult life. So if you didn't like hole in a heart, right? Not everybody will detect it when they are young. So when they're older, they begin to feel the effects of it. So this is what we do. But Dr. Hamdan also does a lot of CSR cases in Hospital Serdang, where he still wants to maintain that congenital surgery skill. So once a week, he will go to Serdang.
Oh, that's very good. I mean, at the end of the day, well, he's not always there, but he said he still wants to do his CSR.
Yes.
Which is
his real passion.
Yeah. So that is what doctors are supposed to be.
Yes.
That's what I feel. It's a personal opinion. Yeah, to our guests.
I completely agree. Yeah, that's true.
And then also you mentioned about gastro. So you all do have gastro as well. It's not only like we only do heart, nothing to do with the heart. We don't do kind of thing. It's not like that now.
I think when they started Cvskl, they realized that chest pain sometimes is not always heart attack because your
Yeah.
heart and your stomach is next to each other. So sometimes chest pains can actually be a gastro problem. So it can be acid reflux or it can be gastric. So we need the gastros there to sort of rule out that it's not a heart problem.
Yeah. So if that means all the necessary tests is done and the doctors find that there is no issue with the heart, I mean completely fine, completely healthy, blood is pumping very well, but he still feel that pull maybe sometimes or certain things, so maybe it's related to gastro.
Yes, yes, correct. So it's good to have them in the same building so they don't need to, transfer out to another hospital and purposely go and look for a separate gastro. So it's basically a one-stop center for literally all matters of the heart. So we can treat from A to Z.
Mm.
Mm.
Well, that's yeah, that is great. So talking about that, yes, because why I asked about this about gastro also because there was one of my friend, he
Mm.
always tells me that he feels that it's pulling, so he went to two different places to see
Mm.
two different doctors, but they said they're fine. So finally, I told him, I said, why don't you go and see a gastro? So actually, yeah, it's more to do with the but anyone would be scared. I mean, if you feel pulling or you feel sick.
Correct, correct. Yeah. And I think if you feel chest pains, you will feel panicking like, because, you if it's a heart attack, you only have a very short time to treat it, right?
Yes,
Yeah. So
yes,
I can understand his panic.
yeah. Because when we watch movies, right, is the moment the blood like, so you get scared lah, definitely, right?
Yeah, true, true. Okay lah, at least he got it checked out. So prevention is better than cure.
Yeah, and I mean, sidetrack a little bit. I mean, I also felt, it was pulling. There was once, and it was so worrying, But
Mm.
to rule everything out, I came to CVSKL also, and okay, to be
Ah,
fair, right?
okay.
So it's
Okay, okay.
Dr. David Chew. Yeah, I think he's really a nice man, a very good doctor.
Mm.
So he rolled it out, yeah, and from there, life was happy again.
So Dr. David Chiu is very special. He is one of the rare heart failure specialists in Malaysia. So not many. I believe there's only one in IJN and one in Pantai Bangsa. So he specifically his area of specialty is heart failure, but he's also a very good in other areas. Angioplasty, good cardiologist in general.
Yeah, yeah, I think he is. Because of course, when we want to come to CBSKL, after okay, after for example, if let's just say a person comes to CBSKL and is diagnosed with a certain condition,
Mm,
then only you all will also recommend which doctor he should be
correct.
consulting, right?
Yep. Yep.
Mm.
So I mean, with cardiology, it's not just simple cardiology. There's a lot of subspecialties that many people may not know of. So for complex cases, I would say CVSKL gets a lot of referrals to do complex cases because, again, not many cardiologists can do. Depending on the location of the lesion, right? Sometimes it can be quite tricky to get the wire in, and then it's hard to sort of penetrate the lesion lah. So it's very calcified. Your arteries are too hard, or the plug is too hard. So sometimes things just cannot go through. The stent it might even explode, or it just doesn't go in. So
Yeah.
so complex lesions, rare, but it does happen. So again, we have doctors to handle it, and in occasions like this, it's good to have more than one people. So what else can I say? So heart failure specialist is another one. We have Dr. Chu, who looks into comorbidities. So sometimes patients with a lot of diabetes, high blood pressure, uh, high sugar levels. There's a lot of things that is going to make the case even more complex. So we have cardiologists to look into that as well. Um, Electrophysiology also. So if I compare the heart, right, I would say it's like a house. If it's when blood cannot pass through smoothly, it's like a plumbing problem, like your pipe, the water cannot pass through the pipe. So with electrophysiology, is like an electrical problem. your lights are not working well, there's short circuit all the time. So that's what happens with the heart lah. So when that occurs, you need an electrician to fix, right? And what he does is basically he will use either cold energy or hot energy to burn off the area that's causing this problem. So that's electrical versus plumbing. And then we also have vascular surgery and cardiothoracic. Cardiothoracic is more to valve, and if cannot do interventionally, then we can do bypass. So again, under the same roof, very easy. Doctors are just doors away.
Yeah, it's very. I mean that is why I guess Cvskl once you all officially launched the hospital or institute, and then you all went on to become a very well known name lah, I guess, right? And it didn't take very long, because most of the specialists or people who specialize in certain things, I think majority or if not all of them are there.
I think so, yes. So we've actually had people telling us, you guys actually pull in some of the best doctors in Malaysia, and I'm sure there are other good doctors lah, but the big names, we managed to get them into Cvskl. But because they work very well together, so they want to work with people who have that kind of chemistry and teamwork lah. So in Cvskl, the doctors are shareholders, so obviously they are very involved with the operations, and they are, it's just like their baby. They basically want the best for their baby.
You want the best for your baby. You want the best for your baby when it's growing, your child. So
correct, yeah.
And it's very hard sometimes. Okay, because for example, I think if you go into employment, I go into employment. Sometimes we may be assigned to work with people, and sometimes you just cannot click. If you cannot click,
yes.
So and now these are all friends, like you said, they are all friends, so they come together.
So I mean, like, even when I see a doctor just to tell them something, other doctors can just like crash into the room and then say, hey, can you, help me interpret this ECG, because I think, this is something wrong. So it's good to have that kind of comfort level where they feel very much at home with each other. So it takes years to build that kind of rapport. So in my previous place of practice, this doesn't happen very often. I'm not saying it doesn't happen. Very rare to see this kind of teamwork.
Which is very, very important, because at the end of the day, no matter how good a person is, you cannot go at it alone. You need a team, you need people around you to work together, to achieve or to advance. So because I've also been reading on Cvskl, I mean, is arrhythmia program, or is that how
Yes, arrhythmia. So that's basically like electrophysiology. So something is not right with the heart rhythm, so it causes like short circuits in your heart.
So that is when Dr. Razali will...
Yes, correct. So he is one of the, I think there's only 20 electrophysiologists in the country. So he's one of the most senior ones, and he's actually very involved with training the younger ones.
Oh, okay, great. So of course I see there's also heart and lung center, vascular and endovascular, cardiac diagnostic, and structural heart. All right. But talking about all these things, right? I mean, what are the statistics like? I mean, the patients in CVS. I mean, of course, don't reveal P&C stuff, but what are the statistics like? Now, I mean, is there still a specific age range, for example, like by certain age, you higher tendency to come into CVS with complication, and usually what are the more common illness?
Okay, so I think with age range, the age is still like 60 and above. When you get older, your systems start to deteriorate. So it's not uncommon to still have patients, a majority in that age. But the surprising thing is we are seeing very young patients as well, like below 30 having a heart attack. Dr. Razali just saw a patient who's 14 years old having irregular heartbeats. So these things typically affect teenagers. Wow. So a lot of more complex cases, and very unpredictable. But I would still say the older generation is still the bulk of the patients. But also younger people, 40s and 50s, with their lifestyle, we are mostly sedentary, we sit in the office. Now with COVID, we have to stay at home, right? We can't exercise. And you better all be staying at home because it's dangerous outside. We smoke. The things that we eat are not very healthy. So, the age barrier is getting lower for sure.
Yeah, because like you mentioned, it's because of the lifestyle, I guess. A lot of it has got to do with the lifestyle.
Yes, yes. Yeah. Very fatty food, a lot of sugar. So,
Yeah, I mean, of course, all the good foods are all the not so good for your health food, right?
yeah, your nasi lemak, your I don't know, coffee peng with a lot of sugar. Yeah, not and then people eat that like, breakfast, then there's morning tea, then there's lunch, then there's tea break, then there's dinner, then there's supper. So there's like 6 meals in a day. It's quite
Yeah,
crazy.
yeah. I mean, I love my nasi lemak, but and especially you have to have a lot of sambal. But the sambal itself, there's so much of sugar and
Yeah, actually, somehow it's quite shocking when I knew that sambal has so much sugar. Then I had to, control a little bit. And then the nasi also, there's so much lemak, right?
yeah.
So it's, yeah, gosh, yeah.
Okay, good. So I mean, then the age range plus, but like you mentioned, I think nowadays we really see younger and younger patients. So statistically, is still the older age. I mean, maybe like you said, 60 years old and above, but they they are getting younger, lah, right? They are getting
Correct.
younger.
They are getting younger. I think 40 to 50, not uncommon. 30 to 40, also not uncommon. Like you said, the lifestyle and the fact that we don't exercise. If you're always in the office sitting down, we don't, it's not a very active lifestyle.
Yeah.
So diet also not the best. And then with smoking and all, smoking is a huge risk factor for a lot of the diseases. So I think in Cvskl, the doctors are typically the first question they will ask: Are you a smoker? And if you are, quit smoking. You will feel much better instantly.
Oh, so smoking plays a very big part.
Yes. Also, a huge risk factor for a lot of these diseases, like aneurysms in your abdominal aorta. Even for heart rhythm, it's also a risk factor. So everyone watching, if you smoke, please stop smoking.
Or if you cannot stop, try your best. I mean,
Yeah.
slowly but surely. That means it's something you have
Yes.
to
Like
consider.
cannot be cold turkey lah. I don't know how easy it is, but I don't think it's easy. Yeah,
Yeah,
but try lah.
yeah. Try. I encourage everybody. Okay, for all those who are listening. All right. Then I mean, generally when they come in, is it always the normal heart attack? I mean, of course, like you said, CVS got a lot of specialists, but really, I mean, every case besides the referred ones now,
Yep.
because but generally, is it always just the normal heart attack thing you all see, or is actually more than that in CVS care?
Heart attack, not really lah. Most of them probably felt a lot of chest tightness, and they
Hmm.
maybe the first few times they ignore it, and then it got worse over time, and then they also feel lightheaded. The typical symptoms in heart disease. So you can feel your heart beating very fast. You feel tightness in your chest. Sometimes you feel numbness, and if you already know that you have high blood pressure, if you know you have an unhealthy diet. So these are the drivers that typically would convince people to come to Cvskl. But again, not easy lah, because I think Asians tend to like brush it away. Hospital is like the last place they would go to. So yeah.
I mean, a lot. That is how we are, lah, I guess. I mean, growing up and looking at it. But
Yeah.
hopefully, I think now the new generation, or they will be more aware of all these things. But like you said,
Yes.
generally, sometimes when you
Yeah.
feel a little bit, then you'll be like, should be nothing, lah. Should be nothing.
Correct. Yeah.
And let's we don't even talk about this. We talk about the annual medical checks, the blood tests and everything. I mean, how many of us, or how many people, they actually do it regularly every year?
Yeah, every year. Yeah. So if people do that, I think they would save a lot of money on hospitalization fees. So preventive health screening is it's not like in our culture yet lah. People tend to put it off until maybe even December. So it takes a lot of energy or like willpower to go and get them done, even though it's subsidized, right? So people don't like to go through that. But again, a lot of your disease outcome, even if you have a disease, is going to be much better if you detect it earlier. At a very early stage, obviously, more things can be done. So it would make sense to get it done ASAP lah.
Yeah, preventive lah, right? Because when
Yeah.
you say you go and do something, like you go and do a medical, what happened to you? You know what happened? That is our.
Yes,
it's not-
agreed. Yeah,
it's
it's not normal. Yeah, it's
Yeah.
not normal.
So now
Yeah.
we have to embed in all our viewers, our viewers' head, and I mean even in our friends, with our friends, people around us, tell them, I mean, yearly, do their health check, because even like in AIA, we are encouraging people to live healthier because
Yeah.
healthier, longer, better life. So we're encouraging people to live healthy, preventive lah, like what you mentioned, is always
Yep.
better.
Correct. So in line with your vitality.
Yeah, in line with vitality. Right.
Okay, that's good.
So
That's
and
good. Yeah.
coming to that, I mean, what or in order to make sure our heart is well, because like I said, even for me, I had a little bit of a scare. That's why I ended up going to. For me, I had a little bit
Cvskl.
of a scare. Then I went to an emergency in Sunway Hospital.
Oh,
I
okay.
thought I had a heart attack.
Okay.
So I went to the emergency. I told them heart attack. So based on the triage, they have to let me go first.
Yes, correct.
So did all
Yeah,
the tests,
immediately
and
rates
then
gone already. Yeah.
and I was yeah. So and then after that, they said no, it's not a heart attack, but of course the fear is there. So that is how I ended up in Cvskl seeing Dr. David Chu. And so how, I mean, since you're working there, what will your advice be? I mean, how often should we get checked?
I think there's a certain age. I believe if it's below 40, you do it once a year. I think once you hit a certain threshold, then you should do it. Sorry, if you're below 40, you should do it once every 2 years. So if you're above 40, then maybe do it once every year. In Cvskl, our packages are more cardiac centric because it's done by a cardiologist. So and typically you come in the morning and in the afternoon you can you get a full set of report and you're done already. Yeah, but very important health screening. Our doctors are always emphasizing on this. We've got packages from all. We actually just developed a new package, and we can work something out with Kingdom if you guys are keen. 699 is the middle tier kind of package. Then we go up to the more premium ones, which is 1,002 to 1,004. But even if we do take the elaborate one, sometimes the doctor will come and assess you. So the cardiologist will assess you and sort of go through your history and, based on your history and your age, sometimes if he thinks you don't need to go so far up, he will actually recommend you to take the cheaper one.
Oh, that means if I come and say I want the 1,299 package, so after the consultation, the doctor looking at my history and my lifestyle, because he will ask questions, so he may say like, you may not do the 1,299, maybe you just do the 999, for example, kind of thing.
Yes, that's what typically happens lah. So we've had very young patients, going for stroke prevention package, things with tumor markers and all that. So after assessment, after reviewing that he doesn't have family history of heart disease, obviously he's very young, below 30. So we told him, don't need to go so far, don't need to be too paranoid. Let's just do the basic one, but do it every year. If he's scared lah, yeah.
I mean, of course, prevention is better than cure lah. Now everything is so unpredictable, right?
Yeah. I think with heart disease if we realize like all the deaths of COVID, most of them have this type of comorbidities, like heart disease or kidney disease, diabetes.
So like now in COVID times, like what you say, those people who tend to be the cases that are more severe or serious are usually they have like comorbid cases, and then
Yes,
it
correct.
accelerates. They're already not so well, so it accelerated everything.
Yeah, so I think this is also why they are in phase 2 of the vaccination program. So to prevent hospitalization, because we all know all the beds are pushed to the max capacity, all the ICUs are occupied, so we cannot afford this high risk group to have COVID. Otherwise, it may not look very good lah.
Yeah.
Mm.
Based on the news we see every day, I think it's reaching. It's really crazy, really lah. So that's
Yeah.
why we urge
Luckily,
everyone.
haven't hit 5 figures. Still 7,000, 8,000, 9,000.
Well,
But
I
yeah.
pray that it won't. I really pray that it
Mm.
won't. But we
Yeah,
will
yeah.
never know. But we have to stay positive.
Don't stay positive. Don't be
Oh,
positive.
right. Yeah,
Just
yeah.
stay.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah. Now is the time to stay negative for COVID,
Yes.
right?
Negative for COVID. Yes.
So yeah. So also coming to that, I think what another one question I wanted to ask you, but it just skipped off my head for a while. So never mind. Yeah. So generally, CVSKL is different from the normal hospitals you go lah, because based on all these things that you
Yes.
have explained.
So I think the key thing here would be what sets us apart is really, I would say, hardware and software. Software being the doctors, hardware being our range of facilities. So our OT, our all the radiology equipment is all very high end and very high specs. So, for example, our CT scans, which is what we typically use to diagnose heart disease. Very fast, very low radiation, and very accurate imaging. So we need good images so that a better diagnosis can be made. So with a better diagnosis, obviously, you know what's going on, and the doctors know what to do. So ultimately, resulting in better outcomes for the patients. So you can have the best machine, but you don't have good doctors. So also no use. You can have the best doctors, but you don't have good machines. Also no use. So what sets us apart, I think, is really having both hardware and software. We've got good machines and we've got good people to use the machines.
Great, great. So I mean, now in CVSKL, how many I mean, what is the capacity? I mean, you are. I mean, as long as if necessary, you need to come in for procedure, you need to stay in. There will be rooms like, because now hospitals are everywhere, they are full. So maybe a lot of heart patient would come over to CVSKL or transfer from other hospitals.
Yes, actually, we have had a couple of days where the beds are completely full. So we have about 60 licensed beds. We operate based on availability of manpower. Sometimes we don't have enough staff, then we may not open up the ward. But typically, bed occupancy is about maybe 70% on average. But if we will accommodate one, we will shuffle things around, or we will rush doctors to discharge patients quicker to free up the space. Depending on whether or not there's long stay patients, sometimes they are more complex cases that require longer stay, especially in the ICU or HDU. Then it will affect the bed availability as well. But typically, angioplasty, very fast you can go home. 3 days, 2 days max.
Well, yeah, I mean the word angioplasty also is like a scary word, but 3 days, 2 days max can balik rumah.
Yeah, I think yeah. So it's not even under general anesthesia. It's typically local anesthesia. So you're not even not fully asleep lah.
Mm, mm,
Very
mm.
simple procedure, just a minor puncture in the groin or in your radius. So very minimally invasive and typically very quick recovery because it's not a surgery, right?
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Wow. I mean, but all these words, I think, in when because we are in the insurance business, when all these words are all,
Too technical, is it?
yeah, but when you hear the word angioplasty means no good for the policy, because you worry whether whether they can buy, because nowadays it's always like that. Sometimes
I
in our
see. Okay.
sometimes in our business, when people are healthy, then they besok lusa, they put it off a little bit, but people who are not so healthy anymore, or who are a little bit ill, they know how important it is, then they are the ones. So sometimes it's healthy, ask you to buy, don't want to buy. But not so healthy, want to buy, hard to buy. You know what I think?
Okay. Wow, very,
Mm.
very not a very easy thing to convince people to buy when they're healthy then.
Yeah, I mean, so at the end of the day, we are. I mean, how we train our people also, we are very straightforward. I mean, we just have to be very honest, lah. I mean,
Yep.
you know, this is the this is the this is the sharing given. So the decision is up to you. But the
Yeah,
advice,
that's true.
yeah, the advice
Agree.
is to do it, lah. Because like we watch. Okay, coming back to just now, I said the
Mm.
doctor likes to listen to Celine Dion, right? Because that's
Mm.
all this cruise ship, all this
Yep.
like Starship Virgo, everything. I mean, we don't talk about Titanic, which we watch lah, but most of the time they are so sturdy, they are so solid, they are so big. But why on
Mm.
earth do they have lifeboats?
Mm. Mm.
You
True,
know,
true, true. That's a
so
good way to put it actually.
yeah, so I mean, getting an insurance policy is like having the lifeboat. Like going to
Mm.
Cvskl to do screening, and as a preventive measure, all these are like lifeboats. You may not
Yeah.
get it.
Yep.
You may not get a cardio, or you may not
Yeah.
need all this problem. You may not have it
Yeah.
at all.
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
preventing is always better than cure, lah.
Yeah, I think when they I mean, touch wood, if they really got it, I think they would thank themselves for having that foresight to buy it in the first place.
Yeah, yeah.
Mm.
I mean, there are instances where I have clients
Mm.
who bought, and after that, really something happened, and they keep on telling me,
Okay.
Clement, is not enough. I said, but of course, I said, I I I came to you and I told you to upgrade, but you said give you
Yep.
some time, so it's fair. But of course, all these things, when things happen, we don't know when. So,
Yeah, correct,
I-
correct.
mm,
Yeah, lor, like you said, having a lifeboat is better than not having a lifeboat. Yeah.
yeah, definitely, right?
Yeah.
Right?
Uh,
Okay, so very, very good. So, I mean, anything else that you want to share about CVSKL?
Um, okay, what do I want to share? I want to tell you that preventive health screening is still um, the best way to detect any health problems. So please go and get your health. Do it regularly. Do it every year. Um, because the heart is really it is such an important organ, right? It's something that never stops working. It beats from the moment that you're born until to the end of life. So it's so important to take care of your health. Exercise, eat right, stop smoking. All doing this three will improve your quality of life for sure, and get insured, lah, I suppose.
Yes, definitely. That is the
Key
whole
point.
factor, yeah.
Yes, agreed, agreed.
Yeah. So I think I mean, after this lah, later in the session we may open up for some questions also.
Yep.
But
Can.
if let's just say there are no questions today, I mean, I think to all the viewers out there, or to if you all have any questions concerning the heart, please feel free also to PM us, drop us a mail. Then we will actually, because Kingdom Group and Brenda, we work very closely. So drop us
Yep.
an email, okay, at coffeetalk.kingdomgroup my@gmail.com. Then actually we can forward it to Brenda, and Brenda maybe can advise, or arrange appointments, to see specific doctors relating to any how do you call that? Relating to any not illness. If you're not ill yet, relating to any concerns relating to any concerns that any one of y'all have, lah, right?
Yes, please do so.
Mm-mm.
More than happy
And
to work with Kingdom. So yeah.
yeah, definitely. And
Mm.
yeah, also one more thing. Yes,
Yes.
for our clients, or for the people that we bring in, because you said you is a special
Mm.
arrangement that you've done
Yeah.
for.
So like I mentioned just now, we've got a new package, 699. I can actually send Clement. I can send you the brochure. Maybe you can disseminate to your team lah. For Kingdom referrals, we will give them a special Stay Safe kit. So it comes with a mask and sanitizer, some premiums from CVSKL. We also throw in a free Grab ride, so two-way, going and coming back. Lah. Just for you guys.
That meaning if let's just say Clement wants to do so this is new to CVS clients or existing
Yes,
CVS.
unfortunately, Clement cannot because you're already a patient. We want to get new people, take this opportunity to get yourself screened at a much discounted rate. Yeah, so we want people to get one foot in the door lah, and then hook them in with a more expensive package next time.
Yeah, I mean, at the end of the day, knowing is better than not knowing, lah. Like what we always say. So for all our viewers, if you all are still with us right until now, so anything, PM us, okay, and if you PM any one of Kingdom Group's life planners, all right, and because we work with Brenda, the package is 699, right? You get COVID kit, I mean the stay safe COVID kit, and as well as a Grab ride to and fro from CVS to CVSKL and from CVSKL.
Correct. Yes.
Yeah, so that comes to mind actually the question that I want to ask you, Brenda. So for example, like now lockdown, right? Now it's lockdown, weeks lockdown. So everybody is at home, of course, working from home. Then sometimes we what am I going to do? Then suddenly the light bulb come up. Ding! I wanted to get my heart, this heart health check done a long time ago. But now is a good time, right? So, but the thing is, lockdown, the government say cannot go anywhere. I mean, so actually we can come to CVS to do.
Yes. So, like what the government said, essential services will run as usual. All of us are working, like everyone in the hospital is working. Like no lockdown like that. So all of us are also fully vaccinated, 2 doses. So we are very safe. So hospital is open, health screening center is open. I think it's really the best time to come where crowds are lower. So we actually still have people interstate who really need medical attention. They actually still prefer to come to CVSKL. So what we can do is we can issue you a letter, an authorization letter to travel. So far we've got no issues with the authorities lah.
So everybody, as you can see, so that answers the question. Meaning, if a person, right, let's just stay in Selayang or Serdang or further away, and they want to come to CVSKL for consultation, so CVSKL actually can issue to say that this a letter to say that this patient is coming here for an appointment. So just in case because for us to get out of the house now, also we're worried about getting stopped at roadblocks, and all this.
Yeah. But I believe the police also. So far with the patients that we've done this with, no complaints. I think most of the police have allowed them to pass through. Yeah, because your heart, is critical, right? Your health, they won't. I don't think they would not let you through that, especially with the valid letter.
Yeah. Well, because if they really don't let you through and they give you so much trouble, touch wood, if really anything happen, I mean, it's
I don't think they want to deal with that also.
All right. So okay, now I mean we have almost come to the end of the coffee talk. Let's just see if we have any questions. So now I have to open up. Okay, let's just see if we have any questions from the floor.
A lot of hellos. Hello, everyone.
Hello. Okay, any questions from the floor? Clement, your audio is really soft. Oh, yes, I didn't know. But you can hear me well,
okay,
right?
I can hear you, yeah.
If non-Kingdom Group can get 699 or not? Okay, non-Kingdom Group can get 699, but you must PM me first. You must personally come to me. I will get you the 699. I will make sure.
We will also give you whatever we give Kingdom Group, as long as it comes from Kingdom Group.
So, Sean, I hope that answers your question. All right.
Time to join Kingdom.
Time to join Kingdom, yes. So for those who haven't joined Kingdom or who are contemplating, it's time to join Kingdom. And after that, I will bring you to CVSKL for health check. Yeah. All right. So I mean, besides that, I mean, yeah, because I remember whenever I call you, I said, Brenda, so how working from home? You said, no lah, I'm working in the
Yeah,
hospital.
lor. Business as usual, lor. Yeah.
Mm, mm. But like you said, it's really business as usual. Nothing much like prior to this. I mean, of course, we don't talk about COVID and non-COVID, but for the past 1 month or so, it has been business as usual lah. I mean,
Yeah,
lockdown
that
and
one really, yeah. So I think we were only really very, very affected by the first lockdown, the first proper lockdown last year in March, April. So
mm,
after that, the patients started coming back lah, because I think when you when you put off seeking treatment for such a critical disease, right, it may worsen. And two, they also need to refill their medication. So sometimes they want to do that in Cvskl as well. And interstate patients, not all the states have the specialty that they require. So like vascular surgery is not easily accessible in all the states.
yeah,
So they have to come to Cvskl.
yeah, because I mean, I for one firsthand experienced it because like after I met Dr. David, because I specifically, I think that time I spoke to, can't remember. Suddenly, I cannot remember. I know he is he went he is my friend's friend. But anyway, so I said I want a doctor who is a human, as in not like those. There are doctors when you go and see them, then because they are good at what they do, then they are a little
You,
bit like busy kind of. I
yeah,
said
yeah. You want somebody who understands, who pays attention to you,
who
spends a
just
bit more time
listens
with
first,
you.
who just
Yeah.
listen, who just
Agree,
listen.
agree.
And of course, like you said, all these are matters of the heart. I mean,
Yes.
I am worried if I ever have to step in there, right? I mean, besides the preventive one. So
Yeah, yeah,
definitely we
yeah,
need
of
a doctor
course.
who listens to us, and when we ask questions, even though how silly it sounds, because we are asking it out of concern for ourselves.
Yes, yes,
Yeah. So
yes. I believe
definitely,
there are no stupid questions like when it comes to your health. I think it's better to sort it out rather than have that doubt lingering in your mind.
yeah. And also ultimately is ask and you look stupid doesn't matter. I mean, as long as I can take care of myself,
Yeah, yeah, yeah,
right?
yeah, yeah. Agree, agree.
Yeah, and so Dr. David was, he explained, then I was very comfortable with him lah. So I think it's time to go back and see him for another round lah, because it has definitely been almost 2 years already lah.
Really, that was your last checkup? Oh gosh, yes,
Yeah,
definitely time to come back. Yeah,
yeah,
just follow up, no.
yeah, yeah. Follow up, follow through.
Yes, agreed, agreed.
So okay, so everybody who's watching, I mean, thank you for being here. I know by looking at Brenda's poster, so it brought more viewers tonight.
Wow.
But yeah, but anyway, I mean, if you all have any questions, please feel free to PM us. All right, email us, and then we will actually forward all the questions to Brenda, and she will, of course, do her best to try to help answer it, or just refer to the doctors that is the specialty. So email us at
Yes.
coffeetalk.kingdomgroupmy@gmail.com. Huh? So before we go, any last words, or before you say bye bye?
Okay,
Okay.
maybe one thing I have to shout out to my own page. For more information, I think we regularly update our Facebook. So you can follow us at facebook.com/cvskl. There's a lot of videos, a lot of doctors' information there that you can have a look at.
Mm. Yeah, which of course I went and watched the Dr. Razali's one. He show his working space and everything.
The EP lab. Yeah, 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 yeah.
Yeah.
Okay,
And
okay.
then recently
Very
I saw,
personable guy.
yeah, that is actually, I mean, because you don't get a lot of doctors or centers where they show you behind the scenes, like this is where I do certain things. So when you see that, you feel like, wow, okay, that's how it is lah. And then
Because
also I
when
watched
patients go
the
in, yeah.
yeah.
Carry on, carry on.
No, and then no, this is got nothing to do with. Okay, you go ahead first.
So when typically patients are in the OT, they are mostly sedated and a bit woozy lah. So we try to do things differently. Show them the angle where they typically will not get to see in other hospitals. Yeah. So
Mm,
that was our angle lah.
mm, mm, mm. All right, very good. And then after that, of course, there's Uncle Garam, right? Is it Uncle Garam?
With Chili Boy. Yeah, yeah.
Yeah. That,
Good, good.
that was a good short film also. Yeah. So it
Yeah,
was
we try to go on a more emotional
CVSKL,
level. Mm.
entirely shot in CVSKL, right? I mean the
Yes, yes, yes. And except for one scene, I think is in a house or something. Yeah,
the house
except
scene.
for that. Yeah, yeah.
Okay, so very good.
Thank you.
So thank you very much, Brenda, for coming on board tonight. Really
Most
appreciate it.
welcome.
So
Thank
I
you for
think
having me.
yeah, definitely, definitely. So I think the next session we will get Brenda and maybe a doctor to come in ready to talk about specific, you know,
Can, no problem.
can
No
all right.
worries.
So
Thank
thank
you
you
all
very much.
for tuning in, guys.
Yeah, thank you, Brenda. So we
Okay.
will of course definitely keep in touch. I'll call you very soon.
Yep, no
Thank you
worries.
for your time.
Okay.
Have a good night.
All right.
All
You
right. Take
too.
care. Bye.
Bye.
Bye. All right, there you have it, ladies and gentlemen, guys and girls. Heart to Heart with CVSKL with Brenda Wong. All right. So I really hope that I really hope that this session actually let you know a little bit more on actually what does CVS do and how, and prevention is always better than cure, like we say, preventive. And of course, Kingdom Group, we work together with CVS KL in ensuring that everyone is healthy. I mean, even Kingdom Group, AIA Berhad, healthier, longer, better lives, you know. So that's the most important thing. Getting yourself checked out is always better than the last minute, because we Asians, our culture, different, I mean, different, even different people, different upbringing, different culture. But it's always better to find out early than to find out late. So that is what I think the message that we're trying to get across. Always get yourself checked, live healthy, eat healthy, and get enough rest. I mean, also like previously, if you go back a few coffee talks, we did talk about vitality as well, eating healthy, rest, getting enough rest. So all these things are very, very, very important. Well, I'm looking forward also to invite maybe a doctor from CVSKL in future for our Kingdom Group's coffee talk to talk about other matters of the heart. I mean, maybe we can have a specific topic so that everybody who are concerned, or you have things to, you are not sure about all these things, then we will get the doctor, and the doctor will be able to share it with each and every one of you. All right. So thank you very much. Remember, if there's any question, coffeetalk.kingdomgroupmy@gmail.com, please feel free to PM us, and also PM us so that we can actually arrange CVS KL side to call you, to to arrange for all this preventive screening. All right, and then you will get your COVID Stay Safe pack, as well as if you do not want to drive, you can get your Grab voucher to CBS KL and back from CBS KL. So this is a special collaboration between us and CBS KL. So please feel free to drop us a PM and reach out to the life planners or to your friends who invited you for our coffee talk. All right. So I really hope that this coffee talk help, and it's already 9:30 almost, so I do not want to take up any more of your time. Thank you for coming in, joining us our coffee talk today, and I look forward to everyone coming on board or coming on and join us again next Wednesday at 8:30 p.m. So I'm Clement, Chaw. I'm signing off. Thank you very much, people. Stay safe, and jangan kesana kesini. Thank you. Bye.